Insure 24/7. We've got you covered. Insure 24/7 is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أد الأمانة إلى من ائتمنك ولا تخن من خانك. That you should fulfill the trust of the one who entrusts you and do not betray the one who betrays you.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Peterborough Property Guys on Salam Radio. Hope you've all had a fantastic start to the week. Hope you're all doing well. You're with myself, Kazafi Sadiq, the host of the Property Guys, alongside my co-host Adam Cooper. Adam, hi mate. Once again, we're back live on Salam Radio. How are you, mate?
Indeed, Kazafi. I'm very well, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not so bad. It's quite warm out there today, which has been quite funny, hasn't it? This last few weeks, where with the tropical weather. How are you finding it?
Oh, it's been crazy. I don't know where to get my swimsuits on, or where to get my winter coat on. It's nuts.
Well, you know what? I've got a bit of a trend the last few weeks. I wear my sunglasses and hold my umbrella at the same time. So I'm sure I'm not the only guy who's alone with this. But yeah, it's been quite unusual.
The UK through and through, is it not?
Yeah, so how's work been for yourself?
It's been really good, to be fair, Xavier. It's been really good. Like I keep saying this every week now, but we are getting busier and busier with the letting side of things, which just goes to show me how healthy the market really is at the minute,
Definitely.
despite all the Brexit talk.
Absolutely, that's the kind of feedback I've been receiving from a lot of my letting agent friends who have been giving me good signs that the letting market is doing really well. Quite contrary for the sales market, but we could discuss that during the show. Because I know you've you've always been a busy fellow. I know you like staying busy. You've recently employed a couple of staff members.
Yeah.
I mean, hasn't that helped?
No, it's got me busier.
Thank goodness.
It's got me busier. Now I've got a load of mini-me's running around, eh?
Amazing, mate. Well, look, we're bringing to you on Salam Radio every Tuesdays at 5 o'clock, our show, the Peterborough Property Guys. So we're live on Salam Radio, 106.2 FM. You can listen to us online by visiting salamradio.co.uk or watch the show on our streaming services by searching Salam Radio on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram or Twitter. If you prefer mobile, please download the Salam Radio app through the App Store or Google Play. Salam Radio is always on air 24/7, 365, uniting all communities. You can also watch the repeat of the show if you've missed the live show by searching us on our streaming services. So today's guest for this week is Chris Kariakou. So Chris, who's going to be joining us for the second half of the show, has 15 years of experience in managing teams of both independent and corporate estate agents. He now is an internet marketing coach who specialises in coaching estate agents in quality digital marketing and helping them to develop strategies that you can employ or they can employ in order for them to grow their business. So Chris will be giving away some golden nuggets for those who want to learn about digital marketing and also talk about the current market conditions and where he sees the property market after Brexit. So guys, if you've got any questions, then please do get involved in our show by dialing our studio number, which is 01733 602 133. You can text or WhatsApp on 07745 278 978. So our main topic to be discussed this week is why Peterborough home sellers are having to reduce their asking price by an average of £10,700 each. So guys, before we get into discussing the topic in more detail, I'd like to get Adam Cooper to just explain to all our listeners why our listeners should tune in every Tuesdays at 5 o'clock and listen to us talk about the Peterborough property market.
Well, Kazafi, I'm glad you asked. We ask this every single week, and it's so important because everyone knows how hard it is to keep up with the ever-growing trends, the changes, regardless of the regulation changes that come in every single month, it appears at the minute. So guys, I want to hear me and Kazafi, the property guys, we bring all this information to one place from all the local experts, even national experts, and get their opinion on how they're experiencing the modern day market in real time. So rather than trying to keep up all the regulations, all the trends, all the market conditions, all the changes, guys, we'll bring it all to you on your drive home between 5 and 6 every Tuesday.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that, Adam. I mean, it's not only beneficial for people to keep up to date with the local trend, the changes of the housing market, with the prices going up and down, with Brexit looming upon us. I mean, the regulations are changing so rapidly, so we don't want our people folks to get caught out. So it really is a good platform for those who are listening or who live in Peterborough and greater part of Peterborough to tune in and to listen to what the market trends and changes are. So as mentioned earlier, our topic for today is why home sellers are having to reduce the asking price for their house by an average of £10,700 each. Adam, do you not think that's quite a significant amount?
It is, yeah. I mean, it really is a lot considering, isn't it? You would have thought that the agents were valuing it a bit closer to the realistic value, to be honest. But I mean, that's all to do with the market conditions, really, isn't it? I always find when, especially when estate agents think the markets are going to be a little bit thin on the ground, they'll push harder to win more instructions. But I'm going to touch base more later on as we go down the questions anyway. Absolutely.
I mean, as we're leaving the memorable hot summer behind us, tell us some interesting statistics which have come to light on the Peterborough property market, which will be thought-provoking for both homeowners and buy-to-let landlords alike.
Okay, so I did a bit of research, and now over the past 12 months, according to online research, 3,259 households have sold in Peterborough. Now, when you compare that, I mean, it sounds like a lot, Kaz, but when you compare that to the last 10-year average, the 10-year average is 3,480. So, again, it's only little drips and drabs that are dropping off the scale here and there, but it all adds up. I mean, 90% of the stock on the market sell below the asking price.
Wow, that 90%. Is absolutely astonishing.
That is crazy. That means only 10% of the houses on the market at the minute sell above the asking price. 10%.
That's absolutely astonishing, that is.
So we're talking like just over 300 homes that are sold for over the asking price. I mean, according to Rightmove in the Peterborough area, the average is about 2.8% below the final asking price. Now, Kaz, I must emphasise it's the final price because, as we know, not everything goes in the market and sells at the same price.
Of course not, no.
The prices change all the time. So that is after they've taken all their hits, after the price has been reduced God knows how many times. So the final price that gets listed online, they're still achieving 2.8% below, which that in itself, I mean, we come from the sales background, because I think that's over an agent's fee that they're losing there.
Absolutely. That is quite some astonishing figures, in fact. So a lot of people who are listening right now are thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to be a potential buyer or a potential seller. I mean, more worrying for the sellers than the buyers, of course. Buyers be like, okay, fantastic, good, we can bag ourselves for a deal. It's easy to, agents are easily negotiated down. But for sellers, they'll be thinking, wait a minute, okay, so an average of £10,700 on my property, I could potentially put down another deposit for another buy-to-let investment with that much money. So, I mean, would you say overvaluing has been the main reason? Or do you think it's the current market we're experiencing at the moment?
I mean, it's always been rife. I mean, I guess nationally, but I mean, I can only tell you about my experience in Peterborough, because I've sold houses in Peterborough for a few years, and I've had over 7 years experience in this market in general. But I mean, you've always come up against it. It's always, and again, it's always certain agents who do it more than others. I think all of them are guilty of it, as a whole.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always competing to get the business. But I mean, ultimately, property owners, they want to hear that their house is the best house on the street, of course.
Sure.
They want to hear theirs is worth 10 grand more than the next one that sold 2 days ago, because they've got a grey feature wall the other guy hasn't. I'm sure you see it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the agents are playing to this, and they want to win the instructions. So they know if they come in 10, 20 grand higher than the next guy did, with a similar fee or even the same, even a little bit more, they can probably get it on the market.
Quite interesting, because we have had this discussion previously in terms of properties getting overvalued, and you never think it'd be that significant. I mean, once again, I'm quite surprised in terms of how much a property is getting selling below market value.
And to put it in context with that, I remember valuing one house before, a few years back now. I valued it, we sat down and showed the comparables. You could clearly see it was worth about 140. It was quite a nice example of a house in the street as well, in the P1 area. They said, wait, give us a couple of hours, tidy up, come back, we take some pictures. Contract's all signed, everything's done.
Okay.
Come back. By the time I went to go back, called them just to confirm they're all ready for pictures.
Right.
Some other agent had been there and valued at 180, and they went on the
Goodness
market.
gracious.
And guess what? They never sold.
Never sold it.
Never sold.
So it is a technique
It is.
for estate agents to win listings. Hence why a lot of estate agents got this really bad reputation, and I've heard it before. The estate agents are known as the evil necessity. Everyone needs an estate agent to sell a house, but the way it's done is quite cutthroat. So that is slowly starting to change. I know a lot of estate agents are kind of trying to change the way they actually educate the landlords and how they come across. So that's a good signs for the estate agency industry overall. You only get one chance of hitting the market as a new property. Could estate agents do a better job to anticipate the market when it comes to pricing the property correctly?
Oh, certainly they could. They could have been. You think buyers are looking at Rightmove and Zoopla and all the other online portals daily? Estate agents look at it almost once an hour.
Wow.
Now, I remember sitting as an estate agent, and I could tell you what a house is worth on the street without even looking.
Goodness.
I'd know the house type. I'd know roughly how big it would be in size.
Yeah.
And on what my next buyer that's going to come along is going to pay for it. So agents know this. Again, it comes down to that greed factor, isn't it? I know last time I looked at it, I don't pay too much attention to selling agents, people say more. But I know there was about 74 last time I looked in the Peterborough area alone.
Wow. So
you can imagine 74, so all competing for the business. So they're all going to put it on a little bit more than it needs to be, on average, to win that business. But nowadays, Gazafi, the buyers aren't silly. At the end of the day, they're just going to go and Rightmove, Zoop and all the other platforms as well. And they're going to be looking. We love window shopping. We've got our phones at our fingertips. On their lunch break, they sit there looking. They're going to get a feel for the average prices in the area.
Sure.
And they're going to spot a 3-bed semi on a 3-bed detached price straight away. And then what's going to happen is it's going to sit on Rightmove and Zoopla for God knows how long.
Yeah, it's true.
And people start to think there's something wrong with the house.
Gets stagnated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And people begin to think there's something wrong with the property, start distancing away from the property, and
that's
before you know it, you're going to be getting no inquiries whatsoever.
And then what happens when no inquiries? Naturally, the estate agent rings the vendor and goes, Mr. Vendor, you need to reduce your price because we're getting no leads for your property. No leads mean no buyers mean no viewings means no sale. So, that's why we get so many reductions, which is crazy. So sellers end up reducing until people start flooding back through the door. They say the average buyer nowadays only views between 4 and 5 houses before they actually buy.
Okay, interesting.
So you don't need that many viewings. I think we've discussed it before. It normally takes about 8 viewings to sell a house, you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you haven't got a big window. And in them 8 viewings, I found in my experience anyway, in the past, that if them 8 viewings are spread out across a couple months, it's going to take more than 8 viewings. If you got it priced right, you got it presented right, them 8 viewings will happen probably in the first 4 weeks and it'll be sold.
According to Rightmove, 70% of the interest comes in the first 2 to 3 weeks.
There you go.
So if that's not food for thought for anyone who's selling a house, then it's really important for them to capitalise within that time. Look, you've mentioned that estate agents need to educate vendors or sellers correctly for them to be able to achieve the correct marketing price, for them to be able to sell it without getting the price reduced. Maybe I could answer this. What vendors could do, in fact, to choose the right estate agent who achieves close to the asking price is by going to this estate agent comparison website called Get Agent. So you can go on getagent.co.uk and you can type in your postcode of your property that you're looking to sell, and what that will do, it'll bring up all your local estate agents, and what that will show you is how quickly is an estate agent selling a house on average.
Okay.
How much of the average of the asking price are they achieving on average?
That sounds like a really handy tool, to be fair.
It is, absolutely, yeah. So
what was that again?
Getagent.co.uk. So it's an estate agent comparison website, just like you got Money Supermarket, you've got quite a few others.
So
Go Compare.
You saying it's like go compare the market for estate agents?
Absolutely. However, it doesn't compare the cheapest. They're all fairly priced, quite competitively priced, shall I say. But the main objective behind this is to choose the estate agent that's going to be able to achieve the best price for your property in the quickest time. So that is the aim of an estate agent. So for those who are looking to sell it in the future, that is one handy tool for them to use to their advantage. So you know exactly which estate agent is selling the house the quickest for the best price.
You know what was an interesting fact as well, Kazafi? I don't know, I'm sure you experienced this as well, we can't always blame the estate agent. You know?
True.
Sometimes it is vendor-led pricing.
100%. I totally agree with you on that one.
I mean, what do you do in that situation? A vendor's got a cracking house. You know you can sell it for the right price, but the vendor wants to go 20, 30 grand above market value.
Okay, so talking from a estate agency point of view, being an estate agent, if I would always educate a vendor correctly. Now, I know with a lot of corporates, it's all about the numbers. However, being an independent, I'll walk away.
Yeah, you don't want no price stock in your book, surely.
And the reason why I'd walk away, and I've done it on a number of occasions, is purely because, one, is my time. Time is money. But most importantly, it gives us a bad reputation. And we don't want to be known as an estate agency that's got 100 properties that are not selling. I'd rather be an estate agent that's got 20 properties and that's selling quite frequently. So that's my answer to that question. I think vendors, yeah, they have a say in. Some vendors have a say in the property price of their property. However, they should be educated correctly, and if they are demanding a lot more money for the property, I mean, look, I think there's always a middle ground. I think you should always listen and see what point of view they're coming from, because they may feel they've added X amount of value and feel like it's worth a bit more than the neighbour's property. So it's really important that you listen to them. But obviously, if you've got a good case and feel like it's a property that's less superior to the one that's across the road, then most definitely I would just walk away. Otherwise, it'd be a waste of time.
So it'd be interesting though, because if all estate agents took this stance, because I think, then house sellers would have to price it at the correct price.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. But like I mentioned, it's a very competitive market. It's a very cutthroat market, and a lot of the employees for estate agents, they work on numbers, so they're very, very target driven. So for those reasons alone, it'd be very difficult for certain individuals who work for certain companies to walk away from certain landlords or vendors. Yeah.
So you reckon the pressure comes from above then? So being from an independent, maybe that's why you can be a bit more, well, why you definitely have more control over what you put on.
Absolutely.
Then pressure from above of the hierarchy.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. 100%.
That culture must get spread across the team as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, when you do make adjustments and changes within a independent, it's quite instant. But within corporates, it's quite long-winded, because, you know, you've got a lot of boards that you have to go through to get your final decision. So just touching upon the topic that we are speaking about in terms of, on average, we're getting a lot of properties getting undervalued or downvalued. How widespread is overvalued in Peterborough?
Oh, I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
give us some numbers.
Showing from figures, Kazafi, at least 36.3% of properties in Peterborough reduced their asking price by an average of 4.5%, which, against that figure you said about earlier, equates to around about 10,700 per property they've reduced of their price. So when these agents are valuing these properties and say we can get you X, Y, and Z,
yeah,
you know, the landlords or the homeowners are actually reducing the price by what looks like to me over double what the agent's fee would have been in the first place.
Goodness.
You know, so now they're taking, you take the agent's fee on top, they're taking nearly a 6% hit on average.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money to lose, all because, and the time as well. You know, the opportunity cost, everything. I mean, that homeowner may miss the house of their dreams they want to buy onwards because they've been sat on the market at 10 grand over the odds without realising. So,
going to wrap that topic up now, because I know we spoke about it previously, and it's quite an interesting one. It's a very educational one. What I want to talk about now is Peterborough house prices versus Peterborough rents since 2006. So the Peterborough housing market is a fascinating beast, and has been particularly interesting since the credit crunch of 2008 and 9. With a subsequent property market crash, there is currently some talk of a property bubble nationally, as Brexit seems to be the go-to excuse for every issue in the country. So how have the house prices and rents differed since the last property crash?
Oh man, it's been a totally different market, because I've since back then, around 2008, 2009. I mean, Peterborough house values alone are 6.2% higher than a year ago.
Wow.
And rents are 1.8% higher than a year ago as well. You know, so all this talk of Brexit bringing prices down, they've gone up.
Why do you think that is?
It's demand. We always talk about people. Such demand, doesn't it? You know, there's always people looking to rent, people looking to buy in this area. There's so much happening, and we've got such great transport links.
Would you say a fear of Brexit and the prices being reduced after is a kind of a square factor for a lot of vendors thinking, okay, let's get out, let's sell for the best price possible, let's give this a try?
Oh, certainly. I mean, myself included. I sold one of my properties recently.
Okay.
And I got really good money for it, considering what I think I would have got after Brexit.
Oh, okay.
And that's my fear as an investor as well. You know, so it's like they say, sell high and buy low.
Interesting.
You know, so the homeowners aren't silly. They're thinking the same thing. I mean, Peterborough, compared to the national picture, national values have only risen 0.4% compared to last month, but 3% over a year. Oh, compared to last year, sorry. So Peterborough alone is around about 3.2% higher. You know, 3.2% higher than the national average, which just goes to show the sheer demand we have here. I mean, nationally, property values are 19.8% higher than back in 2015, but compared to 11.4% higher in the EU in the same sort of time frame.
Interesting.
It's interesting, yeah. I mean, we're doing better in terms of the house price growth than the EU that we're leaving, and Brexit is meant to be messing it all up for us. So in Peterborough, when looking further back since 2006, house values are an astonishing 41.5% higher than 2006.
Amazing.
That is insane for someone who's not known for any growth or
goodness gracious,
high yields. You know, and it's interesting when you compare the rents to that. I mean, the rents now, it sounds high, but they're 22% higher in 2006. But when you compare it to the sale price, it's insane. I mean, because you've got to take into fact that UK inflation in those 12 years has been 42%. So meaning tenants are actually 20% better off in real spending power.
I guess that's quite interesting.
It's interesting. I bet many tenants don't look at it that way.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because we always tend to compare it between wage growth and rents, don't we?
Yeah.
We never really look at actual inflation growth and the rent growth. You know, the tenants are actually winning on this side of things. You know, you think, I mean, I know the rents have gone up a lot over the years in terms of in comparison, but when you think, you know, I mean, I remember when I rented my first place, a 2-bed, and God, that's about 6 years ago now. That was $550. Now you'll get yourself a 1-bed in Peterborough for about $575. You know, you'd be lucky to find a good 2-bed for in the 600 region. You know, they're generally going to be 700, some even 800.
Amazing.
You know, but rental prices though have definitely increased far gentler than the house price values. You know, and another really interesting thing is back in 2009, the rents actually dipped off for 6 to 12 months. You know, so while the house prices were going up, the rents actually went down for a little bit.
That's quite interesting.
It is. This meant really happy tenants, massively happy homeowners, but probably some worried investors and landlords.
Wow, okay.
You know, because the house price is increasing, but the rent's decreasing. And I can only put that down to an oversupply in the market. Everyone's seen the house prices go up. Everyone's jumped on the bandwagon and started buying investment properties. And we all know what happens in oversupply, because I think
interesting explanation.
Prices must go somewhere.
Yeah.
So the yields are dropping off due to the house price increasing faster than the rents, but it's still proving to be a popular place to buy.
Fantastic. I mean, we've got a lot of engagement today. We've got a lot of people tuning in, watching us. So thank you for watching us, guys, on Facebook Live. James Dawson is watching us, and there's also a message saying, hope you guys are doing well. James, thank you very much. Hope you're doing well too, buddy. We've got plenty of other people who are watching us. Sikandar Fazal, we've got Shazad, we've got Zaid, we've got Janet, Ishfaq, we've got a few other people who are tuning in, watching us. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in and watching the Peterborough Property Guys. I mean, Peterborough landlords have benefited from decent capital growth over the last decade with the new tax rules for landlords, now more than ever. What advice would you give our listeners to maximise one's yield to ensure the long-term health of the property buy-to-let portfolio?
So, this is where landlords, because they've really got to get creative with what they're doing with their property portfolios.
Okay.
I mean, I think gone are the days of just your standard vanilla buy-to-lets. You know, rent them, forget about them, leave them and wait in 10 years for the house price to go up. And because you've got to stay competitive. You know, there are examples, and we're massive proof of this ourselves, because I thought we do it at Freedom Homes. There are examples where we get such higher rents over such little changes as well. And I find a lot of the stuff, tenants was looking for better more higher end, more boutique stuff to live in. They want something a bit different, you know. So you just got to get jazzed up the interior design. I mean, white and magnolia. I don't know about any of the landlords out there. Like, it doesn't exist in my colour chart anymore. It does not exist. You know, I see white and magnolia, unless white's paired with some other cool colour.
Yeah.
It's not going in the house, or unless it's on the ceiling. You know. But it's just getting creative. That's why we specialise in shared houses.
Okay.
Because there's a massive need for it. Obviously, inflation's going up and up. We've already established salaries aren't going up quick enough.
Okay.
And the rents, although rising slowly, are still rising.
So, for example, if you rented out a 3-bedroom house with 2 reception rooms, average rents, you're looking about maybe 650, 700. Obviously, it depends on the area and condition.
Exactly.
However, if you convert that into an HMO, is what you do.
That's it.
What would you be looking at in terms of return of investment?
For 5 rooms, just a quick breakdown, would be around about 2,100 gross. Off that gross, you're looking to cash flow minimum £800 a month after everything. That is net, after all agent fees, after mortgages, after all expenses.
Oh wow! So taking away the mortgage.
Taking away the mortgage as well.
Okay, really, really interesting that is. So guys, some golden nuggets from Adam, who's just shared with you one of the ways of maximising from your investments. If you do have an investment property and you want to discuss how to maximise, then do drop Adam a message and he'd be more than happy to help you. Adam, anything else you want to add on this before we go for a break in literally 15 seconds?
Yeah, just think 5 rooms, that means you get to help 5 lucky tenants to have some better quality accommodation.
Fantastic. Adam, well, thank you. And guys, we're going to be joining our guest after the break. Don't go away, and I'll see you soon.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Here at Children of Adam, we believe water wells and hand pumps are a significant step to empowering people to live their best life. A hand pump donation is an excellent form of sadaqah jariyah for loved ones, including those who have passed away. Sa'd ibn Ubadah reported, he said, "O Messenger of Allah, the mother of Sa'd has died, so what is the best charity I may give on her behalf?" The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Water." Sa'd dug a well and said, "This is for the mother of Sa'd." A water pump is £150. Please donate by visiting childrenofadam.net or call us on 0300 321 0032.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage, and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774. Or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Ever thought of joining the fire service? We will be recruiting for firefighters in September, so why not come along to the next 2 information sessions on the 31st of July and the 7th of August, 11 till 1 p.m. at Alama Iqbal Centre, 157 Cromwell Road, Peterborough, PE1 2EL. Booking is not essential, so do come along and find out more about the role, process and how to apply. For more information, call Fazana Qusair on 07825 506 691. We value diversity and actively encourage applications from all sections of the community. You could soon be starting your firefighting career, serving communities across Cambridgeshire.
Feel like some great tasting chicken tonight? Great meal deals, wraps, burgers and sides. We've got it all at Chicken Palace. Call and collect at 302 Lincoln Road on 01733 702 447 or 8 Park Road on 01733 343750. Chicken Palace, open 11 a.m. till late.
If you're planning a boutique celebration, there's only one choice, Mumtaz Leeds. From boutique weddings to engagement parties, birthdays to work dues, with seating for up to 300 people, a perfect location and free car park. Plus, we have a private dining suite for 80 people with a beautiful waterfront view. Pre-wedding teas, parties and breakfasts also available. Mumtaz Leeds. Call 0113 242 4211.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salam Radio 106.2 FM. You're with the Peterborough Property Guys, Kazafi Sadiq and my co-host Adam Cooper. Just a quick recap on some of the topics that we were discussing before the break. One being overvaluing and how or what in fact vendors and landlords should do before they choose an estate agent. And we also compared rents and house prices to now and since 2006. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, we got a guest that we're going to be bringing on the show now, Chris Kariaku. Welcome, Chris. Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
No, you're welcome.
So Chris, we've already given a bit of introduction about yourself and your experience in the estate agency industry. You worked both for corporate and independent. Please share with us a bit of background about yourself and how you got involved in property and what you currently do.
So, well, I got involved in property quite some time ago. It was about 20 years ago now, I suppose.
Okay.
But it started off, I was working in mobile phones, and I was this really smart guy came in one day, and I was like, well, I want to be like that guy.
Okay.
So the next time I saw him, I asked him what he did, and he said he was an estate agent. So I said, well, would he look at my CV? And that was the start of my career. After that, he got me a job in my local area.
Okay.
Worked for a large corporate agency at the time. Well, they call themselves an independent. Here's a clue: they call themselves an independent.
Okay, well, you all know who that is.
We take one guess, eh?
Yeah.
So I worked for them. Progressed up the ladder from
not a bad start
to manager, and then it was a very good start. And then looked after a couple of different branches. I did that for 10 years, and then I went to an independent to help them start and grow their business.
A proper independent, right?
A proper one shop independent.
Cool.
So I know what it's like to start from the ground up. And then did that for a couple of years and decided that I wanted to move out of the game. So I went back into corporate to, if I'm honest, to pay the bills for a bit.
Okay.
Whilst I built my online business, and that's where we are now. So now I help estate agents with their marketing, with both print media and but mostly Facebook ads and Google ads. Help them generate leads from online marketing activities, and awesome. I have a course that teaches them how to do it themselves, and they can also hire me to manage it for them if that's what they want.
Amazing. You seem like you've always been a sales kind of person, working in a mobile phone shop to start off with. From what I know, you've also been doing a bit of acting in the past too, haven't you? Tell us a bit about that.
Truth be told, so the reason I left, or the reason I decided I wanted to leave EA, was to follow my dream of being an actor.
Okay.
When I was in my 20s, I wanted to be an actor, and the parents were like, no, you can't do that, you need to get a proper job.
Right.
That's how it was back then.
Okay.
So I followed their advice, but the need to do the acting never left. So I went into amateur theatre, and then just one day decided, right, that's it. Walked in the next day and quit my job, and went to drama school. So yes, I sort of live two lives at the moment. One is this estate agency trainer guy, and the other one is an actor. Yes.
So how recent is this acting coming to your life?
So as a professional, 2 years.
As
an amateur, since I was in my teens.
Brilliant.
So, but the last year's been good. I've been on EastEnders a couple of times.
Oh wow!
I've been in season 3 of The Crown, which is quite a big Netflix show, and got a couple of films on the go.
Oh, brilliant, mate! That's amazing stuff. Well, quite an interesting career that you've developing. I'm seeing a different Chris. I'm speaking to a different Chris now. It's like I'm speaking to
that one under wraps a little bit.
Oh, is it?
I'm not serious about my business. I'm just as serious about the estate agency stuff as anything else.
Fair enough, mate. Next time we'll get you down the show and we'll get your autograph. So, Chris, why have you decided to get involved in digital marketing rather than becoming an estate agent? Because normally, a lot of estate agents do is they work for corporates or work for big independents, and as soon as they leave, the next big step is to establish their own company. And so, what made you go into digital marketing instead of becoming an estate agent?
Well, like I said, I mean, I decided that the estate agency game was done for me. I'd learned everything I was going to learn. At the time, I just thought, really, and this could have been wrong or beheaded of me. I just thought, well, I've learned everything I'm going to learn. There's nothing more for me to learn here. I'm as good as I'm going to be. And to be honest, I'm getting a bit bored. And I wanted to go and pursue my acting career. So I thought, well, what is going to fund me while I'm doing that? What can I do to fund me while I'm doing acting? Because as we know, when you're building an acting career, you've got more downtime than uptime. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't really pay the bills. So I started EA Analytics, which is my company, with a view to offering a consultancy for estate agents to help them start business, grow their business, get better fees, all that sort of stuff. But I always had the idea that I would let it grow organically and let the business pull me where my clients needed me to be. And it quickly pulled me in the digital marketing direction. I was good at it. I learned it myself through building my own company, and through studying courses and stuff like that. But that's where all of my that's where everyone who needs me wants me to be, in that space. So that's where I am. And I enjoy it. I'm constantly learning. I'm always updating my knowledge. It's a good. I like it.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, you are known as the digital king, and I know you don't like that kind of phrase, but I know you've been in the industry for the last 15-20 years, and you've done EA Analytics quite recently, over the last few years. So you've kind of experienced the property bubble in 2008 and 2009, and I know you're keeping a close eye on the property market at the moment because you're working with estates, etc. What's the comparison in terms of what the market was like going several years ago to what it's like now?
That's a good question. I in 2008, when there was this supposed crash, personally, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I didn't feel it as much as maybe some other agents outside of London. We were doing really well at the time. The branch was turning over good money. We really hardly felt a dip in income. But I understand, I know that other people were affected greatly. I'm not sure what it's like now. I think as long as demand is there and there's a demand for property, then I don't think we've got a problem. I think agents are beating themselves up a bit too much about competition at the moment, rather than lack of stock or lack of buyers.
Quite interesting.
They're always worried about a cheap free agent coming in or whatever, and I think all of these things in the mix maybe help them to believe that it's not such a great market. But I think now's as good as any time. The market goes up and it goes down, but the bricks are always there, right? And as long as there's buyers and sellers, there's a market, and it's up to the agent to create, to help create that demand sometimes. And I think we maybe don't do that as an industry. Sometimes we do just run around looking after the buyers rather than looking after the sellers. I don't know if I've meandered off subject here, but
No.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, I mean, look, it's a like you mentioned, the demand is there. However, it's been tough for first-time buyers. I mean, even buy-to-let landlords, it's the market's getting tougher for them. I mean,
for sure.
What advice would you give the future buy-to-let investors to get on the property ladder, considering how tough it is nowadays?
I really, that is not my field at all. I couldn't advise buy-to-let landlords. I've got a few properties myself, but I always kept as far away from that side of things as possible. But it is difficult. I understand that, and especially for first-time buyers. But there's plenty of schemes that help them to get on the property ladder. It is difficult. On that end of the market, it can be quite difficult. Yeah.
What advice would you give? What would you say the biggest challenges are for estate agents in 2019?
Differentiation.
Okay.
I think we've created a little bit of a copy and paste industry. We've got agents running around jumping onto the latest, greatest idea, suffering from shiny object syndrome. They want the latest toys and not just really getting back to basics and picking up the phone and ringing people to get their business.
Sure.
And I think, whilst we're running around copying what everyone else that we think successful is doing, at the same time calling ourselves different, and you're just not. You're offering the same service. They call you. You go to the property. You give them a valuation, and you hope for the best. That is pretty much most people's and most estate agents' angle. And shoot me down if you like, but that's what I've seen. The ones that really do well, the ones that get great fees, the ones that get a high percentage of instruction, are those ones that build relationships way in advance of that appointment ever taking place. And when they do that, they're often the only agent called in, rather than being one of 3 random choice agents. These people, the vendors have called them in because they want that agent to market their property, and that's because they've started a relationship, they've started building that authority. They've way in advance. That vendor may have read a blog post, may have seen an advert, may have read a guide from that agent, and just built that trust over time until the point where they're ready to sell, and that's the only agent they're going to use.
Thank you for that. One of the our today's topic was why Peterborough home sellers are having to reduce the asking price by an average of £10,700, and the kind of underlying factor was that estate agents are overvaluing properties.
What's that as a percentage in Peterborough?
In terms of percentage, we worked out to be 30.
Well, I wasn't quite that high, because it wasn't quite that high. Hang on. Let me refer back to my notes.
All right, okay.
I don't know if that's a lot.
Yeah.
A 10 grand reduction in London is peanuts.
Yeah, well, London's a totally different ball game, isn't it, compared to Peterborough?
I mean, what's your average house price there?
It's about 225, 230.
Okay, right. So it's in perspective for me now. Okay, fine. Right. So what was the question?
So the question I want to propose to you is mainly to our vendors and vendors and landlords who are probably listening to the show right now. What advice could we give them to choose the right estate agent that'll achieve them the best price for their property?
Well, they've got to remember that the price that they achieve for the property hardly ever has a correlation to the price given to them by the estate agent.
Okay.
That figure can be massaged, it can be made up, it can be not backed by any kind of evidence. So you need to make sure that you've seen evidence, you've seen comparable properties, you've seen a track record from that agent maybe. That's not to say new agents aren't any good. But do your own research. Have a look at what's been available on Rightmove, what's currently available on Rightmove.
Sure.
It's like selling a car on Auto Trader, right? Let's say I've got a car I want to sell, and all the other cars on Auto Trader are £3,000, and I put mine up for £4,000.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to sell, right? It's not going to sell. I'm going to have to reduce the price by £1,000. Okay, and then it's me running around saying, "Oh, I had to reduce my price." Well, no, you didn't really, because your price was inflated to start with.
Yeah.
So, pick the top agents in the area, have a couple come round, let them show you their evidence, ask relevant questions. There are some good questions to ask their agent. You know, what was the last one they sold like mine? How much did it go for? How much it was in the market for? How long did it take to sell? And you can double check that information on Rightmove, Zoopla, and make sure that you're getting the right information. But you know, look at how they market property, how they're going to get the more buyers equals higher chance of selling for your price.
Sure.
So supply and demand.
Absolutely.
So, you know, are they going to be showing it to as many people as possible? Will their marketing get it out to as many channels, not just the portals, but also maybe social media channels, which are really important now? You know, what are they going to do? Are they going to do an open day, or are they going to have people come in willy-nilly whenever they want?
Yeah.
You know, there's tactics agents can use to maximize the price, right? Where you have a lot of viewings in a concentrated space of time, that often, if it's a good value property, will help push the price up. Pricing strategies, you know, gone are the days where you price a property for let's say 199,995. You need to price that at 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think it's cheap, it looks cheaper, but actually you're missing all the people that are looking from 200 up.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
There's all these different things that need to be done to make sure that most people, the most eyeballs are on the property, and see what they're like at negotiating. Right? If your agent comes in and you ask them for a reduction on their fee and they drop it instantly, that's not the agent.
It's not good, is it?
No, walk away.
Why is that?
You know, I want my agent fighting for their fee just as much as they're going to fight for the selling market. If they can't negotiate their own fee, how are they qualified to negotiate the price of my house?
That's a really interesting point, Chris. I've never heard anyone look at it that way, and it's a really good point. You know, I think homeowners shouldn't be scared off by that.
Exactly. You know, the extra 0.25% or whatever I might pay them is going to, you know, I'm going to pay a better negotiator. He's going to get me that 10 grand that everyone else would have dropped.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about sticking to the guns, eh? Like you said, you know they're fighting just as hard. And that's what I used to say to these guys as well. If I'm sat here fighting for your property to get it on the market, and I'm negotiating this hard, imagine how hard we squeeze our buyers to make sure we get the most money for you.
Exactly. And, you know, you can put in other things like performance-related bonuses, right? So, as an agent, what I might say is, okay, well, look, Mr. Vendor, at this price, I can do you this fee, right? But if I get you over that price, then I want a percentage of that increase, right? So if I get you 10 grand more than your asking price, so let's say you're happy with 200, but let's say I get you 210. Well, I want 20% of that. Okay, so that gives me another 2 grand on my fee, so it helps me to increase my fee.
And the vendor's 8 grand better off.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone's better off.
Yeah, so the vendor's 8 grand better off. You've got a performance-related fee in place, so it's a win-win, isn't it? And it's a really good, in my opinion, strategy for vendors to use to at least get at least they're confident that they've got a motivated estate agent trying their best to get the best price for the property. So
definitely, and while you were saying, I was thinking about, you know, pricing strategy again. And pricing strategy is so important.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a line, so let's say you say your price is 200. What you're setting is a line.
Right.
Okay. You're setting a line where the price is, and people will always try and get less than the line, right? They want a deal. But really, what we should be looking at now is offers over that price. So the line is actually the bottom price.
Right.
Okay. So let's encourage offers over that price rather than that's the price and then everyone else comes in to negotiate under it, and you're just fighting a losing battle. You know, you're always going to get people trying to chip that price. So there's different ways of pricing property as well to help you get more bang for your buck.
Amazing. Well, to all our listeners out there, if you've got any questions that you want to ask Chris, then please do tune in. Chris is an experienced estate agent, so if you've got any questions that you feel like that need answering, by all means you can give us a call on our studio number, which is 01733 602 133, or join us on Facebook Live. We're on there now, so if you've got any questions, do join us, and Chris be more than happy to answer any question that you have. So Chris, just one last question especially for our listeners out there. They quite skeptic about the market at the moment. A lot of people are holding back. Brexit's the kind of hot topic that everyone's kind of concerned about. What do you think the Peterborough, the overall property market outlook is for 2019?
Well, Brexit, schmexit. At the end of the day, just an excuse.
Yeah.
You've either got a need to move or you don't.
Okay.
Simple. You're having a kid. You need more space. You're getting a divorce. You need to sell.
Yeah.
All these things happen, right? Yep. There's either a need to move or there isn't. And as long as there's a need to move and there's property to buy, the market's fine. Brexit can't really have an effect on that. But yes, like we said earlier, the entry to the market, the first-time buyers, the legislation they're bringing in for landlords, and the tax relief that you used to get on your mortgage interest that I think you're no longer going to get soon, if it's not already. I could be talking total waffle here, but these are things I hear. They're obviously trying to stop or cool that end of the market. But has that got anything to do with Brexit? I'm not sure. I just think that's just our politicians trying to cool the market. So I think, don't worry about Brexit. If you need to move. If you need to buy a property, buy it. If you need to sell it, sell it. And it is what it is. I mean, it hasn't taken a massive beating, has it, the market?
Not down these sides anyway. I know the lettings is booming as ever. And the sales is probably as good. I know the prices have crept up a little bit, so it's not feeling it too much. So Chris, a bit more about yourself. And before we go on to a bit more about Chris, have you got any questions that you want to ask Chris?
No, I just thought it was really interesting what you're saying about Brexit there, to be honest. I think it's a massive point that you raised there where, at the end of the day, if you need to move, your house price is going to go down in the current house you're in anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like the one you're going to buy is going to go down more than the one you're selling. Generally, we're going to get a drop across the board. So I never understand why people are so concerned until they're doing their final sale, say they're going into retirement, and they're actually withdrawing the funds off the table.
So what you're basically saying is that if you're going to be selling for cheap, then you're going to be buying for cheap.
Yeah, and vice versa. If you sell for high. Go on, Chris. What you got?
Yeah, that theory doesn't always hold water, and I'll tell you for why. But if you're going across the market, fine. But if you're trading up, then if you're trading down, your house is going to lose. Let's say your house loses 10%, and you've got a 300 grand house, you're going to lose 30 grand. Whereas the one you're buying, let's say at 200 grand, is only going to go down by 20 grand. So you're still in a loss. If you're moving up the market in a declining market, if you're moving up, then it's in your benefit, because your property will go down by 20. The one you're buying is going to go down by 30. So your quid's in for 10 grand.
So I think we're quite lucky here, Chris, because our house price there's not a massive difference. I don't know about you, Kazafi, but up to around about 300-400 grand, I'd say is our generally peak market. Anything over that, and we get a bit specialist, we get a bit more high end, and it's a bit out the norm for the area.
Yeah. So you're fine. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. You're listening, guys. It's all good. You've got nothing to worry about. Brexit isn't doing any harm. Chris, a bit.
Well, I didn't say that.
Yeah, quote Kazafi for that.
I think it's a load of waffle.
So, Chris, a bit more about yourself. You're currently doing digital marketing, and are you mainly niched out to estate agents, or are you kind of open to other sectors?
Within a estate agency, or as in other businesses?
Other businesses.
Yes. So the skills that I have, I choose a estate agency because it's easy, but it can definitely be used in other industries. I've consulted for people in the restaurant business and all sorts of different trades.
Okay. Because what I know you for is generating leads for estate agents. So you generate leads. So how is it that you do that? And if there's other estate agents, I know there's one estate agent that's listening right now. I mean, how can people benefit from your services?
So what I do is simple lead generation. Okay, so we will create Facebook and Google adverts to drive people into your mailing list. We'll tempt them to get sometimes an instant online valuation, or to download a free guide.
Right.
Using Facebook adverts, and then once they do that, once they sign up, then you, the estate agent, will have those details, and you can then give them a call to see if you can offer your services. We also do email nurture, so those people receive follow-up emails to offering more value, more advice. But for me, it's all about giving that value in advance. So like we were saying earlier about building that relationship. So people I coach, I teach them to give value. Just give them value. Just keep giving value. Even with properties, as estate agents, sometimes we try and speak to vendors that are already on the market with another agent, and the pitch is always, well, come and sell with me. My standpoint is, well, forget that. Just help them sell.
People don't like being sold to, do they really?
Yeah. Just help them sell. Doesn't matter who they're selling with. Just help them sell. I mean, don't get any viewings around there because you can't really do that. But whatever advice you can give them for free to help them sell, right? Because at the end of the day, stats say that 50-60% of home movers don't sell with the first estate agent they go on the market with. They often have to change.
Yeah. So Chris, we've got like a minute left before we have to wrap the show off. So sorry to cut you off there.
That was my nugget there as well.
Oh, is it? Well, look, fire away your nugget. And also tell us about your Facebook course and how people can benefit from your services. And we're going to wrap it up, mate.
So the course, basically, it's a one-time fee. You jump on the course. It teaches you within a few hours how to generate leads from Facebook. There's a mastermind group, so all the updated tactics are in there. Copy and paste down, email templates, ad copy, everything you need to get started.
Amazing. Chris, thank you ever so much for coming on our show today. Much appreciated. Look forward to speaking to you more in the future. All the very best. So guys, we're coming to the end of our show. Just want to thank everyone who's been listening today. You can rewatch this show on Facebook and YouTube, or alternatively you can visit my blog page, which is peterboroughpropertyblog.com, or search my name, Kazafi Sadiq, on Facebook or LinkedIn, where you can read plenty of my other articles about the Peterborough property market.
You know what, Kazafi? You know what we didn't ask Chris?
Go on.
Why he loves Peterborough? Come on, we got 20 seconds left. Come on, Chris. Why do you love Peterborough?
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
10, 9, 8.
I heard it's nice. I know a couple of people that have moved to Peterborough from London. So
amazing, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Until next time, all the very best. We're the Peterborough Property Guys.
Stay tuned to Salam after